Day 39, we're really starting to get close to transmittal. The committees are starting to wind down. We only had one bill in business and labor this morning and one bill in human services this afternoon. We're taking executive action on all of the stuff we've heard and haven't decided on, and the bills as they come through. The floor sessions are starting to get really long. We only heard 7 of the 11 bills scheduled on the floor today. The emotions are starting to get amped up, and we're seeing a lot more controversial bills, and a lot more people want to talk about them. I called the Butte High class today to talk to them over speakerphone about some of these gun bills that are coming up, especially ones that deal with guns on school campuses. And it was good to hear from them, first of all, and also interesting to hear what they had to say. My husband was in town last night and today and tonight, so I'm not so lonely. The Pages had a lunch today, and so I got to go and hang out with Kendra. She's been staying with me for the week, so I've had some company, and that's been really fun too. The first bill of the day today, the very first bill on the House floor, House Bill 240, was to restrict the Board of Regents from restricting student rights, is the way it was worded. And we haven't had cloture on very many bills, maybe only one so far, and we reached cloture on this bill today. That's when 2 people have spoken for it, 2 people have spoken against it, more than 30 minutes have passed, and we voted to end the discussion. And it was basically about guns on college campuses, and the conversation. The Republicans try to keep the conversation to your constitutional right to have your gun with you at all times, and that should be allowed on college campuses as well. House Bill 297 was that E-Verify bill that I talked about before that requires employers to use this federal electronic E-Verify system to ensure that no one they hire is an undocumented worker. And the vice chair of the Business and Labor Committee stood up and said, hello, there was a bill to make sure that businesses hire 75% Montana residents, and it was voted down on almost party lines. And then that kind of started the conversation, and I was called out by another representative to see if I would talk about that. And I just said, we should really just talk about this bill. We were really close to being called out of order, and I do think we should be following the rules and the decorum of the House. So that was kind of an awkward position to be put in. We heard House Bill 314. I talked to you about that before also. It was out of local government. It had to do with special districts. It got amended like 7 times in committee, and I hated it, and I wanted to vote against it. And I was 5 minutes late to committee and had told them vote no if that bill comes up, and they voted yes, and I would have been the only no. So it came out of committee unanimous. And then today on the House floor, there were 3 more amendments for it, which is like unheard of. So a lot more people voted no, and I finally got to vote no for that stupid bill. Everyone wants to talk on almost every issue that comes up, and everyone's like wanting to really fight and argue about it. So that's definitely a different atmosphere than has happened so far. And I've noticed that this kind of fluctuates from day to day. So just the fact that happened today doesn't mean that that's going to be the way it is every day for the rest of the session. But today it was definitely a lot more serious than it has been. We did have a bill right in the middle of the agenda, House Bill 355, that changed the DUI laws. It did have a fiscal note, and that's a pretty touchy subject, really, DUI laws, and yet we were pretty much all in agreement. There were only 21 people who voted against it. So I just wanted to point out that even though this is probably the most contentious day so far, and a lot of talking and a lot of fighting, that we're still able to agree on some pretty key issues. On House Bill 358, it was another gun bill, and I am constantly reminded that you should probably always be careful of someone who says, well, we're just talking about da-da-da. That is not at all what they are just talking about. Pretty much every time the bill failed, and it gave me, it almost restored my hope in this process. There was definitely, we definitely saw reason prevail today. That bill would have allowed guns in courts, like in your courthouse and in district court, and also in bars. So, that's a good idea. Like I said, we only made it through 7 out of our 11 bills on the agenda, so 4 more carry over until tomorrow. I presented the speed limit law to the Transportation Committee, and I think it passed out of committee, so I'll be presenting that to the Senate. Well, it'll go to the House floor, actually, so I'll have another one up on the House floor probably tomorrow or the next day, tomorrow or Monday. I'm excited to see the Butte High students that are going to be in the Capitol tomorrow. I'm excited to come home to Butte. We're going to be in Anaconda tomorrow night. Looking forward to that. And hope you guys are paying attention. Seems like you are. I'm getting lots of messages. Bye.